Same game parlay with complete analysis in the Stanley Cup Finals for Thursday, June 11th. We're going to go over our play of the day, and I'll give you some thoughts on some props I have in the NHL and also UFC 250 Freedom Card. Welcome, everyone, to the Prop Line. My name is Andy Lang. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new, what we always do is we start off with our same game parlay of the day, and then we talk about the props betting market. It is my opinion the props betting markets are the best way to build your bankroll. So let's get into it with our same game parlay of the day. All right, we're going to go to Stanley Cup Finals. These are tough, guys. The NHL same game parlays, I'm finding them to be tougher than the NBA. We've had a lot of success with NBA. So if you're betting these, I would just lower the unit size on what you've been betting on them. So I lost my last NHL same game parlay, so we're going to switch up the thinking on this one. We're going to go to Jordan Staal over 1.5 shots on goal. And then we're going to take a couple of alt lines on the Hurricanes over 1.5 team total and the Golden Knights over 1.5 team total. You wrap that up, it's plus 106. Here's the line of reasoning for these. Jordan Staal, he's gone over in every game this series, and his shots on goal have gone up the last couple games. So that makes it 3, 3, 6, and 5 shot attempts in 4 games in this series. So if I can get him to have 6 or 5 shot attempts, I think we easily go over this. And by the way, that's playable on its own. I'm looking at DraftKings at minus 130. So Jordan Staal over 1.5 shots on goal. It's a good parlay piece. But if you want to just play it on its own, it's certainly a prop that you can look at. Interesting stats are on this over 1.5. The Hurricanes have scored 3 or more goals in every game this series and every game in the playoffs. So they are getting to 2 goals. And the Golden Knights, almost as good, over 1.5 team total scored. And they've scored 3 or more in every game this series. And over this 1.5 in 19 out of 20 games in the playoffs. We've seen goaltending issues. The offense has been very, very good. Defense has been suspect at times. So I think both of these teams can get to 2 goals. So that's going to be the same game parlay of the day. We've got the Hurricanes, Golden Knights, Staal over 1.5 shots on goal, Hurricanes over 1.5, and Golden Knights over 1.5 on their team totals. All right, let's move on to the play of the day. Then I'll give you some thoughts in the NHL game. We're going to go to NASCAR. This is a client play. You can grab Chris Buescher at plus 110 to finish in the top 10. This was a client play that cashed last week. I know you may not like watching NASCAR. You don't have to watch it. You can just bet it and cash on these plays. We're on a really nice NASCAR run, but he's basically the number 1 forward on the long speed or on the long run speeds. And he's just very, very consistent. He's really good on the restarts. And this is a huge track that he should do really, really well on. He had a penalty on pit road last race, and he was so fast he made it back for a 9th place finish. So he might be the most reliable forward in there, and I believe he's got a pretty good ranking on his pit crew, so he does well on his pit stop. So we'll make Chris Buescher finish in the top 10 at plus money. And if you don't bet NASCAR, here's the thing: you have to bet this before qualifying. If he has a good qualifying run, this is just going to be like minus 150. So we're going to play Chris Buescher plus 110. Let me pull up these props for NHL game. Hopefully we're coming off of a winning Wednesday night. I am recording this on Wednesday, so I do not know how the results went. But for Thursday night, we got a World Cup special best bet, and any plays that we have in MLB, in WNBA, in NHL, those will be attached to that play. But better yet, guys, get 3 days, buy 3 free. It's an absolute no-brainer. Don't buy a package. Buy these 6 days. It's half price, and you get all of our plays. We're running really, really hot. We're number 1 at Wager Talk in the month of June. So we're seeing all the sports really, really well, and we have a plethora of sports to take advantage of. So baseball's on a 12-2 run. WNBA is off to a great start. We're number 2 in profits there. So a lot of really good sports, and this is what we do. This is the time of year where we shine. So buy 3 days, get 3 free over at Wager Talk. Absolute no-brainer, and you can get there with the shortcut wt.buzz/AL. Okay, a couple points. If you like goals in this NHL game, there's some good ones. Logan Stankoven, over half a point, minus 124. Jordan Stahl over a point or over half a point, plus 125. Brett Howden for Vegas, he's at plus money, and these guys are Howden and Stahl have 4 straight games with a point. Logan's got 3 straight games with a point. Sebastian Ahu's like minus 175. You don't need to worry about that, but I think there's some really good ones in that one. And then the only one, the shots on goal props have not been good. I mentioned Jordan Stahl earlier. You might be able to look at Taylor Hall to go over 2.5. I normally don't like playing 2.5, but look at the shot attempts he's got in this series: 7, 8, 9, 6. So he's got 3, 3, and 4 shots on goal the last couple of games. You're getting plus 128. So Taylor Hall might be a good one to look at. All right, I said I was going to mention UFC 250. Obviously, the big play everyone's going to be on is Topuria by KO, minus 220. Literally, the only reason why that would worry me is just because so many people are on it. Remember, this card is outdoors. Wonkiness can happen. I will give you some of my method victories since we're talking props. I like Cyril Gahn by decision at plus 275. Alex Pereira is moving up a weight division. Cyril Gahn has 5 rounds of cardio. I'm not sure Pereira does, and I think this is a nightmare matchup for Pereira. Gahn will not get pushed back. That's what Pereira's kind of looking for. I think Gahn pushes forward, lands some good strikes. He was winning the first round against Tom Aspinall, and Gahn has not been knocked out in his career. He's a big, big boy and very durable. So I like him to win by decision. If we're just looking at some other fight lines, you could take Sean O'Malley by decision, I guess. It's a decent price. I don't see how he loses to Zahabi. Zahabi's not very good, in my opinion. I think you're doing something with Josh Hokett by KO, maybe. I would expect it to be ground and pound. I don't see Josh Hokett having any problem getting Derek Lewis on the ground if he wants to. Derek Lewis, big shot, knockout power. You could take this fight to not start round 2, but Hokett is going to put a pressure and a pace on Derek Lewis that Derek Lewis will be exhausted after just a couple minutes. So I don't think this fight lasts very long in the slightest. And my upset pick is Kyle Dawkins over Bo Nickel. This is the one where outside, if these guys are sweaty because of the humidity, Bo Nickel's going to have a pretty hard time getting the wrestling with Kyle Dawkins, and I think Kyle Dawkins is better on the feet. Dawkins can wrestle. He's not nearly as good as Bo Nickel, but maybe the conditions make this a little bit good. Bo Nickel seems to have fallen in love with becoming a striker and adding that to his game. I'm not really a big believer in it. So Dawkins at plus 275 is worth a look as well. So thanks for joining us, guys. Please hit the like button. Drop me a comment in the comment section below. And remember, 3 days, get 3 free added on there. We're number 1 in June. We can build your bankrolls, and we do it with these props betting market. So myself and my team, you get all the sports that we handicap. Appreciate you guys watching. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.